What's going on? It's the one and only guy, Johnny, and I'm here with 5D Attraction. I wanted to talk to the guys about an interesting subject. This is one that a lot of guys have spoken to me about in the past. This is something that every man is faced with, can be challenged with while in a relationship, while dating somebody seriously. And this is a question about male friends. So I want to keep this simple. I did something on this in the past on my other 5D Transformations channel, but I'm going to bring it new and just really get to some key concepts about male friends. So the first thing we want to take into account when it comes to your girlfriend or someone you're seriously dating having male friends. Um, First of all, let's just deal with masculine and feminine energy, men and women. Now we know that there's something called, well, I don't know if we know that, but just so you guys know, based on the universal laws, there's something known as the law of gender, which simply explains that there's male and female uh, in everything. So really it's regarding the energy. But if we look at everything from human beings to animals to plants, even to what they symbolize as the sun and the moon, there's masculine and feminine energy. Regardless of the physical shell, it just happens to manifest into the physical shell where masculine energy on a physical level will be me, somebody that's a man, or the guys out there, you have a certain look, you don't have breasts, women have breasts, they have different hormones, they have periods, men don't, men, uh, have different body parts, you know what I mean? But it's the opposites of the two, you know, um, that when they come together, for example, in the sexual act, it's these opposites that come together and actually create a life. Okay, so generally we come into the world and we are given a physical disposition, where you're physically maybe male or female, but we actually utilize both energies. So we utilize both energies, but when it comes to attraction, one party, the male or the female, will generally carry more masculine energy or more feminine energy in the interaction. You know, uh, and that's where you kind of have that connection take place amongst the two sexes. And sometimes men will have the masculine dominant energy, which a woman who's in her feminine energy will find that attractive, vice versa. Sometimes women are more in their masculine energy. A male might be more in his feminine energy. And that comes together. Some people call those betas. Some people might say a man in his masculine energy is alpha. What I would tell you guys is to really master both, but it's very important as a man that you master that masculine energy. Now, I said all of that to get back to the male friends part. So there's also something known as attraction. And attraction is natural, it's not a choice. Okay? Which means, let's say if you're a male that's heterosexual and a woman walks in and she has a beautiful face and this is looking right and it's looking right back there, and she comes in beautiful soft skin, long hair, nice soft energy or bubbly energy, and she looks at you and she says hi or something or whatever, she walks by, it's going to trigger something in you physiologically, biologically, and you're going to be like, oh, you're going to look. Now, a good way to measure attraction without it having some super specific title, attraction is simply looking at something for a longer period of time than you normally would. The more unattractive someone is, the less you want to look at it. So imagine somebody with a huge gash in their face, or their bones are protruding out of their body. You're like, ugh, you don't want to look at that the same, unless you're weird or something. And then let's say somebody looks very beautiful, symmetrical. The nose, lips, everything symmetrical and nice and fitting. That's what's considered more attractive. Now in the brain, I'm gonna just say some random deep stuff in here. Like in the brain, whatever it views as symmetrical is going to consider attractive, and whatever is less symmetrical or not symmetrical. So if one eye is here and the other one's up here, you're going to look less attractive. Your nose is unaligned or your lips is more unattractive. So you see there's this mental thing where it really likes perfection. It likes angles to look clean and in parallel, because that means it's balanced. All right, now to get off of that. So let's say if you have a girlfriend, you're with her because you think she's attractive, she has attractive traits, and odds are the men around her, if they're heterosexual men, will view her as attractive as well. Not because they want to view her that way, but we have to understand that attraction isn't a choice, meaning you can't control if you're attracted to somebody. If you want to do it, try to make yourself attracted to someone that has characteristics that are unattractive to you. Like, let's say they're very sloppy. Um, let's say they have bad skin, or there's certain things that like aren't very pretty. It's unless you get to know their personality over time, you're not going to be as attractive. But if they are attractive, right, then odds are you're gonna, be attracted to them and want. And what is attraction linked to? It purely links to sexuality. You have sexual attraction and you have emotional attraction or communicative attraction, which is one is friend zone based, the other is I want to have sex, right? If she's beautiful and beauty, and for men, if they have resources, if they have a great physique and great looks, and these things, and a cool personality, naturally there's going to be attraction there, right? But all of a sudden you get in a relationship and they want you to throw all of that out the window and say, oh well, you should trust me, or those type of things. So what you have to understand, what you have to respect and understand, is the law of attraction. Not just the law of attraction when it comes to attracting things to you, but understanding that there's a natural energy taking place between the sexes, between the genders. And the whole goal is toward procreation, period. Okay? So you can put titles on top of nature, right? But when it comes down to nature in the DNA has its own agenda. Okay? So he might say, oh, this is just my friend. And she might say, he's just my friend. I don't look at him that way. But if she's attractive, does that mean that he's not going to view her in that way? A simple test is to say, okay, let's say if you gave him the opportunity, if you just said, look, I just want to have sex with you, no strings attached, as friends, and we move forward and leave it behind, and it's just between us, would you allow that to, I mean, can we just do it? Have your girl tell her male friend who, she's looking good, right? If he'd be cool with that. And you'd be surprised that a lot of men will be cool with that. But what's stopping it? It's the title, it's the friendship. Now if we go into nature, you look at a squirrel, or if do squirrels have this relationship where it's like, you can't talk to my squirrel girlfriend because, or do squirrels treat it where it's like, well, we're friends, so don't worry about it. Or this is my girlfriend, so don't talk to this squirrel. No, in nature, the rules go out the window, but we assume that these rules don't apply to us as humans because we're so holier than thou. See, the reality is that as long as as long as a heterosexual male and a heterosexual female are in an environment together, and if they're both attractive people, you know, odds are the energy of attraction is in the air floating. You can't dismiss that. You know what I mean? The energy of attraction exists, and it's simply saying, look, I like you as a friend. You're cool. I'm not trying to have sex with you, but I would have sex with you if it was just there, because my DNA wants to have sex with any woman that's nice and fertile and has nice body or whatever. So we try to ignore this and as men, that's a big mistake that you're gonna make. Okay, you have to protect your relationship, and a lot of the time they'll try to put peer pressure on you. Women might, or say like you're insecure, but the reality is you're not insecure. You're just respecting nature. You see what I'm saying? And it's the same as respecting the laws of gravity. Like, are you going to jump off a building and just be like, well, I feel like I can fly? Like, no, there's laws there. We got to realize that there's laws when it comes to attraction. Let's also take into account, this is her male friend, right? So what happens in situations where you all go through disagreements, where you guys are going through low moments, and she's hanging out with her friends to blow off steam, or her guy friends, and she's confiding in him. And there's something known as an anchor effect, where, if you feel a woman, she'll feel a lot of negative energy with her boyfriend at a certain point in time, or if she's always arguing with you, but then she hangs out with another guy and it's always fun and light, then he becomes the one that takes off the load. And so eventually the negative emotions she feels begins to get attached to you, and the emotions of being stress free and happy begin to be related to him. So he gets to be in a third party position, kind of like waiting for you whenever that moment can slip. Now for the guys also, there's male orbiters, men that just kind of hang around the girl and just waiting for the right timing. And she might say, well, my friends aren't like that, and blah blah blah, right? But you got to look at it like, okay, but the key thing is, would he have sex with you if you threw it at him? If you gave him the opportunity? If you guys were twisted, hanging out, you were single, and you're like, well, no, because we never did it before, right? Well, you got to realize, it's all about opportunity, and it's all about timing. Those might not have been the right times. So the goal for you as a man is to create a space where, you know, there's not competing masculine energy against you when it comes to your girl. You want to be the main masculine form of energy in her life. And, you a lot of the time with male friends, I mean, that's just a natural threat that exists. If he's cool, like if he's somebody, that's the key thing too. Is this guy like a loser in your eyes? Is he somebody that's like not an option? That's one kind of male friend, which you still don't like because he's still an orbiter. He still can put things in her ear. But if this dude is an attractive dude, there's another side to this. She's naturally going to feel attraction. We can't ignore attraction. This is called 5D attraction for a reason. Attraction is not a choice. Okay. There are certain things that trigger attraction in a man. There's certain things that trigger attraction in a woman. And if no matter if they're friends, you can put the label of friends on top of it, and that's great. But if both parties are attractive people, and I've seen it time and time again, if the right situation plays out and they're both available and they're both in a singular space together, sex is a natural thing that can play out. A lot of the time, these male friends, they've already had relations before, or that one night where they slipped up and just forgot about it. So you really want to move forward with your woman in a free space, letting go of that energy. And the truth of the matter is, should she have male friends? I mean, that's up to you. But to anybody that I would view as an alpha male, and I know the word alpha male, I'm not a huge fan of the word, but at the same time, it's essentially a man that harnesses a lot of masculine energy, more so than feminine energy, or has it balanced where he can utilize masculine energy very well, or the other. I think that's the best type of way to be, mastering masculine and feminine energy. So the more research I've done, especially with me harnessing feminine energy, I see how women move and work. And a woman will go as far as you allow her. So try to push the limits as far as she can, as much as you allow her to push it. And if you allow male friends to be there, you're creating a space where she has the space and the freedom to make those different kind of moves. It really puts her in. Now you might say, well, I have girlfriends, so I want to keep it balanced. I mean, that's on you if you want to keep it balanced. But let me tell you, what I've realized is having boundaries in place to protect your relationship, your woman will actually respect it. And I've seen, at first they'll be upset, they might challenge it, they might feel some type of way, but after, if you explain it in a way and you stick to it, like, these are my values, this is how I see things, like, this is what I believe in, and I'm not going to change myself to fit your script. Why? Because if I do that, I'm going to feel more feminine energy. I'm not going to feel like I'm in control. You're the one that's going to be in control, and it's not one of those things where she's like, well, we both could. No. If you respect if you respect my judgment, if you respect my boundaries, I don't like that. I don't rock with that. All right. I'm telling you, it's going to be very helpful for your relationship. What does it look like you're in a relationship with your girl and there's a dude sending her messages like bling, bling. Oh, you seen this? Bling. And she's laughing and like, what the fuck? What is this type of stuff, bro? Like that is a threat at the end of the day, especially if this dude is an attractive guy in the eyes of women. So I wanted to kind of share these different ideas with you. The reality and the matter, the main point is basically the idea that masculine and feminine energy naturally has a relationship together. And if she's a woman and he's a man and they both are attractive, they're naturally going to have attraction for each other, especially if they're friends and they have good communication, and experiences, and the more that they have experiences together, he's cementing himself more and more in her mind, in her inner world, so that, think about how dangerous it is with you and your girl if you say, I don't really want you hanging out with Jake no more. She's like, what do you mean I can't hang out with Jake? I've known him from this long, and no, there's no way, I'm not leaving. So it's like, all right, so is it Jake or is it me? And if she has to really sit there and think and like almost considers choosing Jake over you, you have to really look at it and be like, who's really the man in her life? a big aspect you have to understand with attraction is the more a woman is willing to let go, the more things that she's willing to let go of in order to move forward with you, that is a reflection of her investment in the relationship. And you know, you don't want to make a situation where it's nice and cakey and easy for your girl and she doesn't have to sacrifice anything along the way. No, because guess what? If she has nothing to sacrifice to be with you, it's going to be just as easy for her to leave you because she has nothing to lose. You want to create a situation where, you know, the women in your life are investing a lot and believe in the future and are willing to let go of things in order to gain more with you. And it's really a path for you two to just go and move forward and leave everything else behind. Now, if you, like, and it's just that simple, honestly, it's that simple. So I know a lot of guys get thrown that question, should I do it? Should I not? My suggestion is no. I don't. I think male friends is something that uh, isn't cool. I understand the science behind it in terms of on the feminine side and how she can really leverage that to put you in a beta position, to be completely honest. And if you got any questions, man, reach out to me. I can go way more in depth. I mean, I just named some basic subjects. There's a deeper science to this. Um, and I'll make sure to have that video in the Patreon where we go deeper into the male friend situation and how it's just so many levels of it is meant to put you in a position and basically in the feminine position. And it's just a mistake. So keep that in mind. Don't let them try to shame you. Oh, you're insecure, blah, blah, blah. That's just manipulation in order for her to gain control in the relationship and have you conform to her will and her program, which will allow her to keep her male friends while dating you, which puts her in the safe position in the case where if you mess up or if anything's going on, you know what I mean? There's a few dudes over there waiting for her to hang out with whenever she needs masculine energy, and you're not enough at that time or whatever. So thank you for listening. This is 5D Attraction. Keep the videos coming, the likes, subscribes, spread the word. There's nothing but game, you know what I'm saying, coming from the rooftop. You know what I'm saying? That's God Johnny. Let the God within you shine bright, man. Peace.